The Chicago Bears enter the 2025 NFL season carrying a sense of excitement that feels different from years past. This is not the same old story of rebuilding with blind hope, nor is it the endless cycle of next year will be better. Instead, this offseason, Chicago made tangible moves to reshape its identity, address long-standing weaknesses, and build a foundation for long-term success. For decades, Bears fans have been waiting for a front office to commit to an aggressive strategy of offensive development. Chicago has always been defined by defense, the monsters of the Midway legacy, great linebackers, hard hits, and stingy defensive play. But in the modern NFL, that's not enough. Offenses win games, and without the ability to score consistently, even the strongest defense eventually breaks. The Bears have often found themselves on the wrong side of that reality, stuck in low-scoring struggles while other franchises built explosive attacks. This offseason was different. For once, the focus wasn't just on patching up holes, it was on constructing a complete team. General Manager Ryan Poles, who faced questions about his future and criticism for the pace of the rebuild, came into the offseason with pressure mounting. And to his credit, he delivered perhaps the best roster overhaul of his tenure so far. The Bears prioritized the offensive line, long the weakest link in Chicago's chain. Last season, rookie quarterback Caleb Williams was sacked 68 times, a brutal number for a young player trying to find his rhythm. It was clear that no progress would come without protection. To fix this, the Bears added three new interior linemen, veteran guard Joe Thuney, young powerhouse Jonah Jackson, and steady center Drew Dalman. Together, this trio provides both leadership and stability. For the first time in years, Williams enters a season with a line that can give him time to throw and confidence to trust the pocket. But protection is only part of building a successful offense. Weapons are equally essential. When veteran wide receiver Keenan Allen left, many feared Chicago would lack playmakers. Instead, the front office acted swiftly by signing Olamide Zakos, who has turned heads in camp with his speed and ability to create separation. The draft also brought fresh energy. Luther Burden III, known for his explosiveness after the catch, immediately adds a dynamic element to the passing game. Tight end Colston Loveland offers versatility as both a blocker and receiver, while running back Kyle Monangai, a late-round selection, has the toughness and versatility to surprise opponents. These moves collectively signaled a new approach: surround Caleb Williams with weapons and let the offense dictate games. Defensively, the Bears also retooled. Grady Jarrett, a proven force from Atlanta, joined to strengthen the interior line. Alongside him are young talents like Gervin Dexter and returning veterans such as Andrew Billings. On the edge, Montez Sweat remains the leader of the pass rush, but depth concerns remain. The team is counting on players like Austin Booker and Daniel Hardy to emerge as reliable contributors. While unproven, Booker's flashes of dominance during preseason give hope that he could be one of the breakout players of 2025. Taken together, the Bears' offseason can only be described as transformative. Poles didn't just sign names, he built units. The offensive line is stronger, the receiving core deeper, the defensive front more balanced. This was not about quick fixes, but about setting up a system where Caleb Williams can develop and the team can compete now while also laying a foundation for the future. Still, no matter how promising the roster looks, the NFL is a results-driven league. For Poles, the extension he signed only increases the pressure. If the Bears stumble in 2025, questions about his leadership will only grow louder. But if this roster performs as built, Poles could finally shed the doubts that have followed him and be remembered as the man who turned the Bears into a modern contender. If the front office gave the Bears the tools, Ben Johnson is the man tasked with turning them into a masterpiece. His arrival as head coach might be the single most important decision the franchise has made in years. Known as one of the NFL's most innovative offensive minds during his time with the Detroit Lions, Johnson is here to do something no one has been able to accomplish in decades: create a consistent, high-powered Chicago Bears offense. For years, the Bears' offensive story has been one of frustration. Stat after stat proves just how painful the drought has been. In the last 30 years, Chicago has finished with a top 10 offense only 3 times. They remain the only NFL franchise without a 4,000-yard passer or a quarterback with 30 touchdowns in a season. This isn't just disappointing, it's astonishing given the age and history of the franchise. Generations of fans have watched elite defenses around the league while wondering why the Bears couldn't find their own. Johnson intends to end that. His offensive philosophy is built on unpredictability, balance, and aggression. He thrives on pre-snap motion, which forces defenses to reveal their coverages. He leans on play action, which keeps defenders guessing. He is not afraid of risk. His Lions led the NFL in fourth down attempts, showing a willingness to go for the jugular instead of playing conservatively. These principles are exactly what the Bears need to shed their reputation as a plotting, outdated offense. For Caleb Williams, Johnson's system could be the difference between a career of wasted potential and one of stardom. Williams' rookie year was a mixed bag. Over 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, and only 6 interceptions, but also 68 sacks and a troubling 21% off-target rate. Too often, Williams looked like a young quarterback trying to do everything himself, forcing throws, holding the ball too long, and taking unnecessary punishment. Johnson's system will ask him to play smarter, not harder. Expect to see more under center snaps, where Johnson thrives, and a heavy dose of play action, something the Bears rarely used last year, but Johnson's Lions ranked top 5 in. Another change fans should prepare for is tempo. Johnson believes in dictating the pace of the game. Sometimes it means quick hitting passes to keep defenses off balance, and other times it means slowing down with heavy formations and pounding the ball. This flexibility will be critical for Williams' development, as it prevents defenses from keying in on predictable patterns. But even the best system needs execution. Johnson himself has admitted that while his staff is full of great minds, Eric Bieniemy, Dennis Allen, Antoine Randall L., and Declan Doyle among them, coaching talent means little without players buying in and executing. That's why training camp and preseason are so important. Williams must build chemistry with his receivers, learn when to trust his line, and most importantly, trust his coach. History provides an important lesson here. The last time the Bears truly had a coach-quarterback connection that elevated the franchise was the legendary duo of Sid Luckman and George Halas. Since then, Chicago's quarterback carousel has been a source of frustration and heartbreak. Johnson and Williams now have the chance to break that curse. If they succeed, they won't just fix an offense, they'll redefine an entire era of Bears football. And let's be clear, this isn't just about 2025. The hiring of Johnson wasn't about a one-year turnaround. It was about building a sustainable offensive culture that could last for years. For the first time in decades, the Bears appeared committed to being an offensive-first franchise, and if Johnson's track record holds true, the payoff could be enormous. Before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news. Even with optimism at an all-time high, it's important for fans to keep expectations realistic. Change in the NFL doesn't happen overnight. The Bears are breaking in a new head coach, a new offensive system, and continuing to develop a young quarterback. That combination almost guarantees there will be growing pains. Preseason games have already shown glimpses of what's to come. Against Miami, the Bears' offense displayed flashes of creativity, with Williams looking more comfortable in play-action situations. At the same time, timing issues and pass protection breakdowns reminded everyone that this is still a work in progress. Fans should expect more of that early in the regular season, moments of brilliance mixed with frustrating mistakes. The biggest challenge for Williams will be consistency. He has all the tools, arm strength, mobility, vision, and leadership. But NFL success is about more than talent. It's about processing speed, decision-making, and discipline. Williams must learn to avoid unnecessary sacks, improve his deep ball accuracy, and, most importantly, embrace the idea that sometimes the smartest play is a throwaway. If he grows in those areas, the sky is the limit. Defensively, the Bears have a solid core but still face questions. The addition of Grady Jarrett should help solidify the interior, and Montez Sweat provides elite talent off the edge. but depth remains thin at pass rusher, and the team is relying on unproven players like Austin Booker to step up. If they can't, Chicago may need to look at another veteran addition during the season. The secondary, however, looks poised to build on last year's improvement, especially with more consistent pressure up front. One of the most exciting storylines heading into the year is the potential breakout of young players. Luther Burden could quickly become a top option in the passing game, while Kyle Monangai might force his way into a bigger role in the backfield. And if Austin Booker continues his preseason dominance, the Bears could suddenly have a dangerous defensive front. Every season, surprise stars emerge, and Chicago has several candidates ready to make that leap. What separates this Bears season from so many before it is hope grounded in reality? In past years, optimism was based on wishful thinking. Maybe this draft pick works out, or maybe this coach changes everything. This year, the optimism comes from actual moves that make sense. A rebuilt offensive line, a proven offensive mind at head coach, a quarterback with generational potential and weapons to support him. The pieces are in place. Now the challenge is patience. Fans must accept that early struggles do not mean failure. A slow start doesn't erase the progress of the offseason. Trust the process, trust Ben Johnson, and trust that Caleb Williams will grow into the quarterback Chicago has been waiting for.